think it was on our second trip to Liberia, we were able to get out into the rural area in Bong County and had a very interesting afternoon interviewing some of the rural police there who work for the Women and Children's Protective Service, which is the unit within the police dealing with sexual and gender-based crimes investigation. And I'll never forget, the officers were very good-humored given the very limited resources they had. They were all sharing a motorbike, which actually didn't even belong to the police service. It belonged to one of their friends, I think. But this was the motorbike they would use to go out into the towns or the rural areas to, if they had a call for assistance. And one of the officers, I'll have to paraphrase, I don't remember his exact words, but he pointed at the bike, he said, "So here is our bike." I said, "That's great. Is that what you use to do your investigations?" And he said, "Yes, when there is fuel. There is not often fuel." And I said, "Okay, well, when there's fuel, how does it work?" And he says, "Well, when there's fuel, I get on the bike and I drive out and I pray to God that it's not rainy season, because if it's rainy season, I can't get very far down the road, or I can't come off the main highway anyway. So that is very difficult." And then he says, "And I hope that when I arrive at the village, even if the woman knows who hurt her and he is standing right there in front of me, it can be very difficult. I'll tell you why. What must I say to him? You are under arrest. Please get on the back of my bike and hold on tightly while I drive you back into town through the muddy road very slowly and put you in jail." You know, he was laughing a little bit, but the challenges he was describing were incredibly real, and is part of the gap between what he's supposed to do under law to investigate rape, for example, and what he's able to do on the ground with a shared motorbike that may not have fuel, that if it does have fuel, he has to bike out on his own and ask a perpetrator to hold on tight while I escort you politely back to jail. So the report back in the convening is just such a crucial part of how we do our research. It's not at all interesting to me to write a report that sits on the shelf that the local community never, ever has access to and can't use to improve their situation. We'll have our report back convening for participants of the study from Uganda, Kenya, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Eastern DRC at that point. And we can't bring everybody to the table, but we will do our best to invite a meaningful representation, meaningful delegation from each of those countries to the meeting, which will allow us to present our findings to members of those communities, but also, again, facilitate sort of a cross-pollination, really, a dialogue among providers and experts from the different case study countries. Because one thing we learned in the Kenya workshop in 2011 was how much people are looking to share resources and ideas and brainstorm challenges together and learn from what worked in a different context. Maybe we can try it in our own. And I am so excited for that meeting, because it's just phenomenal when the head of witness protection in Kenya can meet her counterpart from Uganda or Liberia, and they can talk about the challenges they've had and what worked for them and what didn't work. Or if nurses from Liberia can talk to nurses from Eastern DRC about what do you do in an incredibly resource-limited setting when you just don't have post-rape care kits at all your health facilities. How do you improvise? They may really, really learn a lot from each other. And just from our bird's eye view of what we've learned from all the different countries, we already know some of the key points of just intersection and dialogue that will probably come out of it. So we'll be very happy to facilitate that early next year.